Good morning everyone. I am reading the newspaper The Indian Express of Wednesday, June 12, 2019. IAF drops personnel near AN32 crash site. Some teams have reached the spot. The AN32 had disappeared on June 3rd after taking off from Assam's Jorhat base at around 12:30 pm. It lost contact with ground staff at around 1 pm. The Indian Air Force Wednesday dropped 8 to 10 personnel near the site in Arunachal Pradesh, where the AN-32 aircraft crashed. ALH and Mi-17 choppers landed near the crash site, from where searchers will trek to the site where wreckage of the aircraft was discovered on Tuesday. Some have already reached the site while others are still trekking. Additionally, at least 15 mountaineers have been inducted by Mi-17s and ALH with equipment. Out of the 15, 9 are from IAF mountaineering team, 4 are from Army and 2 are civilian mountaineers. The crash site is 16 kilometers north of Lippo, northeast of Tato, and at an approximate elevation of 12,000 feet. The IAF had said Tuesday. The wreckage from the aircraft had been discovered by an IAF Mi-17 helicopter deployed for the search operation. The teams Wednesday will try to establish the status of occupants and establish survivors. IAF spokesperson Wing Commander Ratnakar Singh had said on Tuesday that they will look for survivors and other things. The AN-32 had disappeared on June 3rd after taking off from Assam's Jorhat base at 12:30 pm. It lost contact with the ground staff at around 1 pm. It was scheduled to reach Michika Advanced Landing Ground in Shiomi district at 1:30 pm. There were 13 people on board the aircraft. Chandrayaan-2, India's 1000 CR moon mission, to take off on July 15. Chandrayaan-2 will carry 13 scientific satellites with it. The satellite will take off on July 15, ISRO Chairman Dr. K. Sivan announced at a press conference Wednesday. Chandrayaan-2, India's mission to the moon, will take off on July 15 at 2:51 am. ISRO Chairperson Dr. K. Sivan announced at a press conference Wednesday. Chandrayaan-2 will carry 13 scientific satellites with it and weighs about 3.8 tons, the equivalent of 8 elephants, Sivan said. Chandrayaan-2 will explore the southern part of the moon, Sivan added, making India the first country to do so. The ISRO chairperson said, "This mission is the most complex one ever undertaken by the organization." Nirav Modi's bail rejected for 4th time. UK court judge says attempt made to destroy evidence. While delivering the judgment on Nirav Modi's bail application, Justice Simler said she had found strong evidence to suggest there had been interference with witnesses and destruction of evidence in the case and concluded it can still occur. Fugitive diamond merchant Nirav Modi was denied bail by a UK court on Wednesday for the 4th time in his extradition case to India to face charges in the Punjab National Bank fraud and money laundering case amounting to up to USD 2 billion. Rejecting his bail application, Justice Ingrid Simler at the Royal Courts of Justice said, "There are substantial grounds to believe that the 48-year-old would fail to surrender as he thus possesses the means to abscond." While delivering the judgment, Justice Simler said she had found strong evidence to suggest there had been interference with witnesses and destruction of evidence in the case and concluded it can still occur. The applicant has access to considerable financial resources supported by an increased offer of £2 million. The judge noted, "It is difficult in my judgment to see how the UK is safe haven as there is no case of him being tried here. There are still places in world one can escape to which are even safer haven from India investigating authorities, she said. Countering Modi's lawyer assertion that he did not have any incentive to flee the UK as he sees it as a safe haven of justice. Modi's bail had been rejected thrice before by the Westminster Magistrates Court in London, with the judge ruling there was substantial risk that he would fail in surrender and deemed the bail security offered as insufficient. Modi, who was arrested by Scotland Yard officers on an extradition warrant from a Metro Bank branch in central London on March 19, remains in custody at Wandsworth Prison. He is due to hear for his next remand hearing via video link on June 27. Britain calls on Hong Kong to pause extradition bill, maintain rights. Hong Kong police fired rubber bullets and tear gas at demonstrators who threw plastic bottles on Wednesday over an extradition bill that would allow people to be sent to mainland China for trial. Britain urged the Hong Kong government to pause and reflect on an extradition bill that has sparked widespread protests and said the former British colony must take steps to protect its rights, freedom and high degree of autonomy. Hong Kong police fired rubber bullets and tear gas at demonstrators who threw plastic bottles on Wednesday over an extradition bill that would allow people to be sent to mainland China for trial. I urge the Hong Kong government to listen to the concerns of its people and its friends in the international community and to pause and reflect on these controversial measures. Foreign Secretary Jeremy Hunt said, "It is essential that the authorities engage in meaningful dialogues and take steps to preserve Hong Kong's right and freedom and high degree of autonomy which underpin its international reputation."